So the biosynthesis of the auxin will always takes place in the short apical region at the site of embryogenesis and as well as in the young leaves and young seeds. Okay, so this is the site of the production of the auxins. So here if you see the indole acetic acid, so this is the most abundant natural auxin, and auxin is the first plant hormone to be discovered. Okay, so for the biosynthesis of the auxin we need a precursor. Here the precursor is the tryptophan. A biosynthesis of the auxins, we have two different biosynthetic pathway for this auxin. The very first one is the tryptophan dependent pathway, where tryptophan is involved for the production of the auxin, and tryptophan independent pathway where there is no requirement of the tryptophan for the production of the auxin. Let's see the tryptophan dependent pathway first. During the synthesis of this auxin, what happens? The chorismate will be converted into the anthranilate chemical. Okay, so now anthranilate will get converted into the 5-phosphoribosyl anthranilate in the presence of an enzyme called as anthranilate synthetase. Anthranilate synthetase. So this, in the presence of this enzyme, so anthranilate will be converted into 5-phosphoribosyl anthranilate, and this 5-phosphoribosyl anthranilate now will get converted into indole 3-glycerol phosphate. So in the presence of an enzyme called as phosphoribosyl anthranilate transferase. Okay, so very short formally I will write it as phosphoribosyl anthranilate transferate as PRAT. Okay, so now in the presence of this enzyme, this 5-phosphoribosyl anthranilate get converted into indole 3-glycerol phosphate. So now this indole 3-glycerol phosphate undergo the reversible reaction to form two products. So one is serine, another one is indole. Okay, so the serine and indole has capability of again reconverted into the indole 3-glycerol phosphate. Why? Because it is a reversible reaction, and now this indole will gets converted into the tryptophan. So later this tryptophan gets converted into indole acetic acid. So this is the tryptophan dependent phosphate. Why? Because from the tryptophan this indole acetic acid is producing. You getting? So if here itself I'll explain you the tryptophan independent phosphate. So in the independent phosphate, what happens? That is a tryptophan independent phosphate. The steps will be same till indole. Here what happens? Indole, instead of producing a tryptophan, it has capability of producing indole 3-pyruvic acid. Okay, so it is an intermediate compound, and this indole 3-pyruvic acid gets converted into indole acetic acid. So even in case of tryptophan independent phosphate, chorismate will get converted into anthranilate, and anthranilate will get converted into 5-phosphoribosyl anthranilate, and 5-phosphoribosyl anthranilate in the presence of phosphoriboanthranilate transferase enzyme will get converted into indole 3-glycerol phosphate. So here indole 3-glycerol phosphate gives rise to two products, that is serine and as well as indole. Serine gets degenerated, wherein indole, instead of producing tryptophan, if it produces tryptophan, again tryptophan will produces indole acetic acid, then it will become tryptophan dependent phosphate. But here it is not producing tryptophan, instead it is producing indole pyruvic acid, and that indole pyruvic acid will get converted into indole acetic acid, so that is tryptophan independent phosphate. So only at the last step it get changed in both the biosynthesis case. Okay, hope you like this video. Please do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Also never miss an update from me. So stay tuned. See you in the next video. Until then, take care.